Hey, have you ever wanted to learn to crochet? Well, trust me, it's not that hard. Let me break down the 3 basic stitches of crochet: the chain stitch, the single crochet, and the double crochet. Once you have these 3 stitches, you'll be able to create something beautiful. Hey, I'm Rachel, and I like to consider myself the professional crafting coach. I'm here to teach you how to create upcycled and DIY items, fun crafts, and handmade gifts. And today I want to teach you how to crochet. So let's get started. Today I'll be using a yarn I got at Hobby. It's rainbow yarn, it's 100% cotton, and it's 8-6, which is the equivalent to a size 2 yarn. It suggests that you use a 4 or 5 millimeter hook, but I'm actually using a 3 hook today. I've used a 3 before and it worked up just fine. So what I'm going to start with is a slip knot. In order to do a slip knot, you've probably done them a million times in your life. It's basically just a knot that you don't pull all the way through. You're gonna insert your hook, pull that tail to tighten it. Let me show you how I hold my yarn first. So, one of the hardest things about starting to crochet was learning how to hold my yarn to where it slid through my fingers. And I was able to let my hook and my yarn do the work and not my hands. That was the hardest part of crocheting for me. So I finally learned, and this is just what I do. It's not what everyone does. So I take the yarn and I wrap it around my pinky finger, and then I wrap it on the inside and over my pointer finger. So, like that. And then I hold my working yarn here. I hold it with my middle finger and my thumb. So the chain stitch, you're going to yarn over your hook and just pull it through. It's just that simple. Yarn over, pull it through. Yarn over, and pull through. The hardest part about this stitch is getting the yarn to flow through your fingers correctly and your tension on your yarn. Those are the 2 hardest things, because you don't want it too tight, because then you won't be able to get your stitches through the little holes, but you don't want it too loose, because then your project is not going to look good. So there we go. There's your chain stitch. And as you can see, it looks like chains, or it looks like a braid. All right. Now, I'm going to go back down this row with a single crochet. So for the single crochet, you're going to find that first hole in that last chain stitch that you stitched right here. And you're going to insert your hook, pull the working yarn through, just that stitch. You will have 2 loops on your hook, and then you'll yarn over with your working yarn and pull through both. Let's do that again. So you'll insert your hook in that next chain stitch, pull your working yarn through. You have your 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over with your working yarn and pull through 2. So find the next stitch, insert your hook, let's see, insert your hook, pull your working yarn through, yarn over, and pull through 2. The next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through 2. And there you can see it's starting to become something. Keep practicing that stitch to the end of your chain, and I will meet you back. Okay, now I have done single crochets all the way back to my starting point, and if you wanted to continue the single crochets, I'll show you what you would do. After you finish that last single crochet in the last chain stitch, you're gonna chain 1. That's your chain stitch. So remember, you yarn over and just pull through that loop. That was your chain stitch. And then you turn your work. I always turn my work like I'm turning the page of a book. So you turn your work, and then you just do the same thing going back down. This row will be a lot easier. That first one, getting your hook into that chain stitch is a little more difficult, but getting it into the single crochet stitch is a lot easier. So you will insert your hook into the top of that first single crochet. So it's that first one here. It's not this, that's your chain 1. This is going to be your first single crochet. So you just insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through 2. You'll know if you're putting it in the right stitch because you'll see the little V. It's a V at the top of each stitch, and you'll just put it through both sides of that V in the top of that stitch. Yarn over and pull through 2. Now meet me back here and I will show you what to do with your double crochet. Okay, I am back here at the end of the row. So now I'm going to start this next row with double crochets. For that, you would need to, at the end, after you've put that last single crochet in, you will chain 2. Some people chain 3 when they're going to do a double crochet. I always chain 2 just because I just don't like the way it looks when I chain 3. Now on some things I will chain 3, but when I'm crocheting rows with a double crochet, I always chain 2 at the end. So then you turn your work like you're flipping the page of a book. So now we'll start our double crochet. This chain 2 will count as your first double crochet. So you will not need to put one in this first stitch here. You need to skip that one, and we're going to go to this one, the second stitch. So for a double crochet, you'll yarn over, insert your hook into that first stitch, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through 2 of those loops, and that leaves you with 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the other 2. And there you have your first double crochet. So now for our second one, or our third, because we're counting that one as our first, you're going to yarn over again, insert your hook into the stitch. Remember, the stitches look like little V's at the top. Pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2. And that's all there is to it. Let's do a couple more. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2 more. And now you have let's get this kind of straightened out here. And now you've started a row of double crochets. So meet me at the end and I'll show you what to do. Okay, I'm back at the start, and this is what the work looks like so far. So as you can see, this is my row of single crochets, and then my second row of single crochets, and then my row of double crochets. And you can see the space left between the double crochets. The double crochet stitch is just looser, and it's a longer stitch also. So you can see the difference in the two. Now, if you wanted to do another row of the double crochets, again, you would chain 2 or 3, whichever you prefer. And then I flip my work like the page of a book, and I start all over again. I don't go into this stitch because I already have the double crochet. So I yarn over and I go in that second stitch from the hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then pull through 2 more. And that's all there is to it. You now know how to do the chain stitch, the single crochet, and the double crochet. Some tips for this: always count your stitches when you start that chain stitch. Some patterns call for a different amount of chain stitches. Some call for even amounts, some call for odd amounts, some it doesn't matter at all. But you always need to count this starting chain. And then I would always also get used to counting the next few rows at least, so you know you're putting in the right amount of stitches. I am notorious for this. When I crochet in rows back and forth, for some reason, when I do it and I stop counting my stitches, it either goes like this or it ends up going like this because I'm putting too many stitches in and it goes out, or I don't put enough stitches in my row and it starts to go in. So that is my tip for starting out, is always count your stitches. Remember to stay consistent and just practice, and you will get better. Practice on holding that yarn the way I showed you, and practice your tension. Just doing little swatches like this and not actually trying to make something is very helpful. You can just practice. You do a few rows and then you can just take it out. You're not wasting any yarn. You're just practicing. This is called frogging, by the way. When you take all your stitches out. It's kind of satisfying. And then you just start over and you practice again. And then when you feel comfortable with the stitches that you have, you just start again. There you have it. You're a professional crocheter now. I'm just kidding. But you do have the 3 basic stitches to start. If you'd like to see more, you can watch my video, How to Crochet a Pot Holder in the Round with Double Crochets, and it'll give you more practice. So now go out and create something beautiful.